Working hard cause I want extra pay. Talk to them seeds, but you must demonstrate. Cause it's your ways that they gon' imitate. Non-violent. Sometimes I wish I would've went to college. Frown proudly. Cause where I'm from, they hate you when you smiling. Your faith should be your gun. You can't leave home without it. The children being grown cause all the parents acting childish. You show them your reality, I bet they doubt it. You tell them all about your dreams, that's when they out it. Your own blood. Ain't no family no more. They do you badly for show. You try to patch up your soul, Lord knows you on a mission to show him you so submissive. The prayer said in silence, you know the devil can hear him, pay attention. Know the war's within, how much time do you spend? Try to balance your zen, then again, losses is lessons. You tell me you trying to win, we know about saving money. You tell me you trying to spend that blood on it. Sweat, tears, you put that love on it. Your best years was just a dumb moment. You tired of going hungry, can't deal with fake making your life lonely. Your lack of faith that left your soul bony. But you gon' work and you gon' strive, do what it takes to survive. What is truth, what is a lie? You know that war's inside. Some get draped into the fake, they don't know what to decide. Wrong choice, meet your demise, keep that between you and I. You realize, some people you gon' let go, you visualize. The things you need to feed your soul is on the rise. They not gon' wanna let you go, but it's alright. It's cool to bury what's gon' grow. Went from wrong to the right and to the dark to the light. It was a hell of a fight. You give it all your might. Gotta hold on tight and you stay strong and precise. You fight the war that's inside, cause it might change your life. From wrong to the right and to the dark from the light. It was a hell of a fight. You give it all your might. You just hold on tight and you stay strong and precise. You fight the war that's inside, cause it might change your life. I ain't the person that I used to be. So what I do today ain't things that you used to see. Stay the same, no, things change usually. Some folk I may know might get reintroduced to me. Yeah, I ain't the person that I used to be. So what I do today ain't things that you used to see. Stay the same, no, things change usually. Some folk I may know might get reintroduced to me.
Don't be stressing on the dumb shit, cause God is gonna make a way. Just keep going and keep your faith, so you can win this race. This race called life, yeah, yeah. This race called life. This race called life, yeah, yeah. Race called life. Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm grinding cause I know that I'm gon' get it. I just gotta have vision, keep faith and be humble. Have some patience with it. I've been there once since day one, been always on my job. I never been a fake, never had to steal and rob. Cause I do good business, I'm too good with it. And even though I'm on this road, I'm still daddy to my children. You know I do good with them, and don't like being missing. But I hate when my bills are thicker and my pockets get thinner. But I can't stress up on the dumb shit, cause God is gonna make a way. I keep going and keep my faith and my pace, so I can win this race. Win this race called life. This race called life. I'm just trying to win this race called life. This race called life. This race called life, yeah. Race called life. I'm just trying to win this race called life, yeah, yeah, yeah. I keep on running in this race called life.
we're not going to go to any commercials on this one. We're going to get straight into it. Welcome to the war room. The debate is over, but the smoke is still in the air. Tonight, the gloves are off and the mics are still hot. You just witnessed the clash between Leondre McBride and King Naga. And now it's time to break it all the way down. This is the war room. No time limits, no formal structure, no moderator stepping in, just raw analysis and unfinished business. Questions that didn't get answered when the clock ran out. That's what we're here to answering today. Leondre came in with fire, King Naga came with pressure, but now we get clarity. We're dissecting the strongest arguments, exposing the weakest moments, and pressing both warriors on what they meant, what they missed, and what they might regret. This is where the narratives get challenged and where reputations get tested and the real war begins. Strap in because this is the war room. And shout out to the panel. You all are the real MVPs. I'm assuming that you sat through the comments, questions, and thoughts. Let's start with who's right next to me. We have Leondre Slim Reaper McBride. How do you feel about your performance?
Flawless victory. It's not even a question.
Okay, same question to you, King Naga.
Oh man, we got us two master degrees on the wall of Naga. You know what I'm saying? Because the burden of proof is on him to prove that Alex Pretty was a criminal terrorist, and he didn't fulfill that obligation.
Both of you gentlemen, and again, give you two a round of applause. You're stepping into the Coliseum of arguments. Only the brave speak here. I think we should start with some of the panel's questions first. Who we got down here on the bottom? Right under me, we'll start with Honey and move down the line to the Pan and then to Swab. Honey,
All right, I
question.
was like that. I wasn't ready with my question.
Okay, we'll start on the other end then. We'll start with Swab and work our way back to you. Swab. Pan's always ready, man. Go ahead, Pan.
Well. I didn't even watch the debate, man. Lady for that whole topic, man. I don't like the way you be saying their names and you don't be saying my name like Michael Buffer, bro. You know what I'm saying? You got King Naga. You know what I'm saying? And all this other. Well, I want demons or something. You know what I mean? Like you know what I mean? Throw some spice on my joint. But no, the debate was dope. Obviously, again, you know what I mean? I can't help it. It's Squadron, Barbarians over everything. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Leondre took it. I think he gave a good presentation. And my only question, it's questions, right? My question would be to both of them. Which do y'all think is your favorite slide? What was your best slide?
Mine was the one detailing the all of the relevant and controlling case law, constitutional and statutory authorities. It's my favorite.
Well, for me, it was a combination of slides. You know what I'm saying? It was a slide with the actual video footage of what happened. You know what I'm saying? And in section 111 of Article 18, you know what I'm saying? Right after that, which shows that Alex Petty would have had to forcibly assault MPs or, you know, and something like that to the federal officer, which the film don't show.
Mm-hmm. Now, did y'all hear that?
I did. Before you say what you was about to say, I just want to shout out to the mini Nagas in the background. Salute them. I'm Team Dad all day. You and G for holding it down.
Shout out to you. He definitely did that debate on daddy duty and got it done, man. The only person I've ever seen do it like that, man. One of the best, man. Let's go.
Yeah, because Uriah was like, I need attention right now. Uriah.
Power,
But
can y'all
okay,
hear me?
so I think Leondre did a good job with this one. Of course, you could say I'm biased, but I think he did. I think King Naga had like the talking points of the emotional America and how we feel like we don't like it, but like if it's justified by the law, like whether he was a domestic terrorist or not, I know that's kind of like what he kept hinging on, but like the actions of like what happened right there is what like would make it justified or not.
Thank you, honey. Thank you.
And so that's kind of like what I was trying to. I wanted to hear it from him, like in that rebuttal part, but like you know, that was it though. I think that y'all both did good though. Coming, y'all both came with it, and y'all both, you know what I'm saying, tried to, put people's feet to the fire the other way.
Mic check. My
Suave.
audio good?
Yep, yep. Did you
Yeah.
have a question
Okay.
for any of the debaters, honey, before Suave goes in?
Oh no.
Okay, Suave, it's on you.
I ain't know if it was on me. But yeah, shout out to both debaters, man. Thanks for setting this title. Thanks for preparing.
No, you
Thanks
breaking up, bro. You breaking up.
for real. See,
Yeah,
that's the
it's
hater
like
shit,
it's
bro.
like Cyborg breaking up too.
That
That's it.
Metro boy.
Man, first of all, is this Metro? No, this Spectrum. Mic check. Can you hear me?
No, I can
Okay, I'm
hear
gonna come
you,
back.
but it's. Oh wait, stay. I think that's it.
And he
It's
said it's
not.
Mic
not
check,
Metro.
mic check,
No,
mic
no,
check.
no, that ain't it. That ain't it.
That ain't
Yeah.
it either. I'm fucked up. Man, boy, Black Power, man. I tell you. All right, I'll be right back.
We need a black internet service provider. That's what we need.
Wall Street, clearly.
Word, word.
So,
Now with that, I can agree on.
questions,
Going
comments,
on.
thoughts on anything that you saw today?
Nah, just a good debate. I will say, for me, I don't really take either side in the whole ICE conversation because I just feel like black people should stay all the way out of it. But with that being said, listening to the argument, I had to kind of agree with my Naga that yeah, that was kind of unjustified. I mean, he was unarmed at that point. He was fairly subdued. I felt like presentation wise, actually showing the video, it's kind of like a reminder, like, yeah, that one was nasty. If that was some black kid somewhere, I would have been marching for that. So I can't really just switch up because he's white. But because he's a white crash out, it's really not my fight. I tell black folks stay out of white on white crime. But good debate. Good debate. Fellas did
So
well.
you agree it was a crime, though?
Hey, and you know what? You know what, Wall Street Willie? It became some young black kid about 2 days ago, but and it's almost identical except for the fact that the dog mauled him after they
The
shot.
one by the dumpster. The one by the dumpster where
Right.
I think they filmed it from like an apartment. Yeah, I know the one you're talking about.
Black Power. Am I still Borging?
No,
No,
you
you
good
good
now.
now.
Now you sound
All
good
right.
now.
Don't get it out, bro.
Suave got that
All
teller
right,
in him
man.
now.
Yeah, man. Shout out to both debaters for setting the title, preparing for the debate,
Yeah,
showing
big
up and
up them.
completing the debate. I gotta take my hats off to y'all for that because a lot of people don't do that. Great presentation by both sides. Leondre, of course, man. Your reputation precedes you. This is like really my first time seeing you debate. Excellent job, man. Clear and concise argument, very concrete, supporting, evidence as far as, coming with the law and what's justified and what's not. It was really a copy and paste argument, and you did an immaculate job at it, man. And shout out to Naga, man. I gotta say, after debating him, um, at our first debate, like I gotta take my hat off to you, bro. This is one I could tell that you prepared for. This is one that I could tell that you cared about. The passion was there, and you didn't let the passion cloud your mind. You used the needed emotion, and I believe that your argumentation is just as best of a job as you're gonna get when it comes to going up against Leandre's argument. Was it justified? And it's like, well, if the judge slams the gavel, right? It's a open and shut case. But going up on the evidence in the video and the description of what they say was justified, someone needs to be investigated behind this. This did like I really feel like Naga showed enough doubt that this was not justified, and it was powerful, bro. And yeah, man, shout out to y'all, man. Keep doing your thing. This is why I'm a debater and not a judge. But yeah, shout out to both of y'all, man. Thank y'all. Black Power.
Already. Hey man, but I gotta say it again, man. It was an honor and a pleasure to share the stage with Leondre, man. And
Appreciate
shout out to the bar reloaded. You know what I'm saying? Only Nog and the Bulk to come together to do something like this. Let's keep it going, man.
Oh yeah, you got to stay out that chat messing around with the barbarians, man. It's ugly down there.
I don't know what you mean. We have no comment.
No clue what he's
Exactly.
talking about.
None. I said, damn, they won't shut the fuck up. Let them debate, man. They
This-
on every sentence. I said, damn.
they do be. They do be. Another question for the debaters.
We're
Did the debate
debaters. What do you expect?
go the way you expected it to? We'll start with you, Leondre.
Yeah, it did. I certainly expected for there to be no depth or breadth of legal analysis. I expected him to be off topic. He was, like he keeps saying that he keeps saying that the shooting itself hinges on him being a domestic terrorist. It does not. In any other police shooting by law enforcement does not hinge on the person being a domestic terrorist, but on the totality of the circumstances at the time that the shooting occurs. So it doesn't matter whether he's a domestic terrorist, but that was pretty much a tactic anyway, because I knew he was going to get off topic. So I said several things there that I knew he was going to waste his time with, and he did. He fell for the numerous traps that I set. So he wasted a ridiculous amount of time trying to respond to those in his period of time, and didn't do any analysis on laws of self-defense, perfect or imperfect self-defense, nothing that would not justify the shooting. And I knew that he wouldn't reach a 95% probability. In the American legal jurisprudence, you need a 95% probability that a crime occurred in order to say that it was in order to say that it was in fact a crime. He didn't touch that. I knew he just talked all over himself, and we talked about a bunch of stuff. And he said some crazy stuff in there that I wasn't expecting. I expected the outcome, but I wasn't expecting certain things. Like he asked why Alex Freddie wasn't charged with the crime after he was dead, which was like crazy. But so I certainly wasn't expecting that. But I mean, the debate, it went exactly how I expected it to.
Yeah, man. It went according to plan. You know what I'm saying? Because I knew the burden of proof was gonna be on him to show an action committed by Alex Credit that justifies lethal force. You know what I'm saying? And that has yet to be fulfilled. He didn't fulfill that obligation of his burden of proof, showing what justifies shooting an unknown man or a man after you disarmed him. And what justifies killing a man who was within his rights to film law enforcement officers in the midst of their duties, was well within his right to protest. You know what I'm saying? Well within his rights to follow the request given by the governor and the mayor to protest. And he made claims that he didn't substantiate of him being a criminal in the midst of criminal actions. And I knew he was going to come with all that and not have a slither of evidence to corroborate any of it.
Next question. Thank my dog over here. Chill out, dog. Chill out, dog. My bad. Was there a moment you felt you had full control of the discussion? King Naga, let's start with you.
Oh man, from start to finish. From start to finish, you know what I'm saying? It's like I gave him a little smoke and mirrors in the opening, you know what I'm saying? That's why I yelled all that time, you know what I'm saying? To give him the idea that, oh, I got this. It's gonna be easy. You know what I'm saying? But I was under control the whole time, man. This debate is a strategic warfare, you know what I'm saying? It's intellectual warfare, but it's also strategic. So it is what it is, man. I come do my thing and let the chips fall where they may.
Yeah, likewise. Well, I knew I had it from the time that he decided to ask for the debate because he was saying nonsense about ICE not having authority over U.S. citizens. And he even covered in a slide that they do have authority over U.S. citizens. Another debate that he says he wants to have, which is ridiculous because he talks about them detaining people for all sorts of other crimes, even though he said prior to that they had no authority over U.S. citizens, that they had no jurisdiction there, which was nonsense. So I knew prior to taking a debate that he was going to take an L because he has no expertise on a specialized topic such as law. He has no background, no history, no understanding of controlling case law, of elementism in criminal analysis, nothing. So, and despite what he says, my burden, if we're going by a legal standard, would just be to get 6% or more in my favor. So when he's set up for the debate and he's going to say that it was an unjustified shooting, he has to achieve 95% or more. He didn't get 20% in the first place, but he has to get 95% or more. If I just get 6% or greater, then that means that I win the debate. And I know he's probably not familiar with debate propositions or like the legal standards, but that's why I covered it in the beginning. But by setting up the debate in himself, he's either going to have to show by 95% probability that a crime had occurred, and he's not going to be able to do so. And so, yeah, right at the outset when we were talking about the debate, I knew he took an L.
Can I ask a question?
Blocking state investigation is a crime.
That is not, and it was another one of the ridiculous things that you said before. You cited the 10th Amendment to the Constitution, which basically says that any power not enumerated because the Constitution constitutes the form of government. And remember, my background in history and training is in constitutional law and its historical development. The Constitution constitutes a particular
It's violating a state.
It is not.
It is violating a state's right.
It is not violating the state's right. There is no requirement because any crime that takes place, the federal government, depending on if there's a particular statute that gives them authority, if there's some congressional authority for saying that a crime has been committed, that's going to occur in all 50 states and U.S. territories. Okay, and so the federal government is not required to turn over any of their investigatory materials to state officials. There is no requirement in that. You have no Federalist paper that's going to say that. It's not in 45. It's not in 46. 45 and 46 are the ones that deal with the 10th Amendment. To the Constitution. None of those. Madison did not say that anything related to that. That has to do with needing to turn over evidence in your investigation to state authorities. That was something that you made up in its entirety because you don't know constitutional law or history. That was entirely made up. So there is no
that wasn't made up. That was a ruling. A federal judge issued a restraining order to block the feds from tampering with or destroying evidence. And they did that. And they did that so the state can investigate.
See,
that's why they did it.
See, there you go.
So what actually happened and what's actually documented
how to read
conflicts with what you're saying.
No, this is you not knowing how to read a ruling, and it's why you need a specialization to come on my topic. So the Supreme
did a federal judge not issue a restraining
listen,
order?
that's already been asked and answered. But listen, that's what I'm saying. But that is not the
Did
same
a
as
federal
the ruling requires.
Did a federal judge not issue a restraining order?
There is no law. And the 10th Amendment certainly does not state anywhere whatsoever that a federal government is required to turn over things, to return over things that in an investigation to state authorities. You made that up. You have no controlling authority that says that. You have no appellate decision. You have no Supreme Court decisions, especially not federal ones. Okay?
I got a federal judge. I got a federal judge ruling that says they got to turn the evidence over.
No, you do not. You do not. You said yourself that what they have to do is they have to not destroy evidence or.
It wasn't my fault if you missed it. It was in the presentation, brother.
It was absolutely 100% not listed there. But you don't know how to read law, which is why you got that wrong. You have no idea what you're doing in this. Zero. That 10th Amendment does not cover that whatsoever.
According to you, the federal government can violate states' rights anytime they get ready. And
no, that's not what I said whatsoever. The Constitution constitutes
that's
a limitation.
So who has the right to investigate crimes committed within states' borders?
Well, they both have the right. They both have a concurrent jurisdiction over that, but that does not require the federal government to turn over things in its.
So if they both have the right, why would the state block? If they both have that right,
the state is not blocked. The state is not given access in any.
They block the state.
No,
they blocked the state from investigating. The state had to go and get a warrant and return and was still denied access.
The state Listen, because a state court cannot.
They had to go get
you're not listening.
federal judge to issue
You're not listening.
warrant,
You're not listening.
and they
The
were
Fifth
still
Amendment works two
blocked
ways.
after obtaining a
The
warrant
federal
by the
government, the
feds.
federal government is not. The federal
Hey,
government
man,
cannot
get
require.
hold of yourself, man.
The federal government cannot require the states to participate in any of their activities, okay? Especially when they're trying to enforce federal laws. They certainly can participate if they want to, but the reverse is also true. The states cannot compel the federal government to do anything. There's a federal supremacy clause. The states cannot compel the feds to do anything. It's the federal supremacy clause, Article 6 of the United States Constitution. You don't know that because you don't know what you're talking about. So this is why the states.
That also will be a straw man, because that's not the claim. That's not a claim I'm making. That will also be a straw man fallacy, because that's not a claim I'm making.
That is
That's not a
entirely
claim
made
I'm
up.
making. What I'm saying is states have sovereign rights, and the sovereign rights of Minnesota were infringed upon when the feds blocked
They
them
were
from doing
infringed
a
upon.
criminal investigation. Yes, their rights were infringed upon when the
Cap.
feds stopped the state from investigating a
They
potential
didn't stop them from
crime,
investigating.
a potential.
They didn't stop them from
They
investigating.
what does
They
they blocked them?
stop them
They
from
blocked
investigating. They
them.
can sit and investigate
Why
whatever
did they
they
have?
want.
Why
They
did
can review
why
video.
did they have to go? Why did they have to go obtain a warrant and was still denied?
That was
if
already
they weren't
asked and
blocked from
answered, and it went
investigating?
over your head. I told you this already.
No,
The federal government, the federal government is not
you're still
required.
running from that.
The federal
You're
government.
still running
Let me
from
say
that.
this again.
Hey, can
Let me say
I
this
ask a
again.
question now?
The federal government is not required. They're not under state authority. That means that the state cannot come in and compel the federal government to turn over anything. The federal government has supremacy, Article 6 of the United States Constitution. This means states cannot compel the federal government to do anything, including turn over evidence that it turns up in its investigation. Likewise, if the state has something, right? If the feds have no say in the matter, the feds cannot come in and compel the state to do so, okay? Because you have concurrent authorities, except for the fact that the federal government is supreme over the states. Yes, Suave, you can ask whatever you like.
Appreciate it. Naga, could you tell me what was at the time when the brother was shot? Could you tell me his physical position in relationship to the officers?
He was underneath about 4 or 5 of them, face down to the concrete. You know what I'm saying? With a phone in one hand and eyeglasses in the other one, and his gun was in the small of his back holster.
Where was his hands?
They were being restrained.
They were being restrained, so he was being detained. So they were trying to handcuff him.
Yeah.
Listen, hey, Suave.
And so he fought. Yeah.
Nigga, hey, Suave, stop.
Okay. Okay. Well, let me ask you then.
Hey, Suave, wait. What? Listen, because that means, you know, never mind.
I can go there. I know.
You went Metro again on this big dog.
I mean, we could assume that that's what they were trying to do, but we don't see them attempting to handcuff in the video. We don't actually see handcuffs in the video.
Hey, King Naga, let me ask you a question. Under the current Supreme Court statute and precedent, is force a Fourth Amendment issue?
That depends.
Depends on what? And give us the controlling case law.
I mean, it would be a Fourth Amendment issue if the Fourth Amendment was being violated when force was used.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, see that statement,
that
sentence
right.
doesn't make any damn sense.
Yeah, I mean, yes, it does make
sense. Am I still breaking up?
No, you're good now. Go ahead.
Okay, brother Leondre.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you asked and he agreed. If a police officer yells out gun, that it is logical for the supporting officers to understand that there is a gun on the body of the suspect. Okay, now, did the suspect fire his gun?
No, the suspect did not fire his gun. No,
did not fire his gun. Who fired the suspect's gun?
The federal agent did. Who was who just took his gun.
Okay. And then, so now, is it logical to say that if a cop yells out gun, that you should just open fire?
No. Well, so that it depends. So all things considered, no. All things being equal, no. All things considered, it could be depending on the circumstances. So
Okay.
if the person's yelling gun, for example, to use your example, if they yell gun, and let's say the person has an object aimed towards a crowd of people, the officer in a split second, right, and based on totality of circumstances, could reasonably fire his weapon.
Understood. I
Right.
agree. You're
Yeah.
right.
So it's going to depend on totality of circumstances, which is what the controlling issue is here. One, the officers did not just fire when they heard gun. It wasn't until after a gunshot was heard that they fired. One of the things that my opponent seemed to miss. I'm sorry. Did you have another question? I don't want to overtalk. If you had another question.
Yeah, I did, but go ahead.
Yeah.
Get your spill.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a question.
One of the other things that my opponent misses, for example, right, is that a gun is not the only threat that an officer is going to encounter in that. And so, so he kept talking about how, well, they took his gun. Even if they took his gun, that doesn't present the only threat. He could have been choking an officer. I mean, we know a shot was fired, and so it makes sense why they would shoot. But there could be all sorts of other reasons why they would fire reasonably in a situation, whether or not the person is armed. We know of case where the person's been technically unarmed, but was beating a person with a walkie-talkie. Right, that's a deadly weapon. You can still fire, but legally was considered unarmed. You can hit a person with a vehicle, and so you're not unarmed, but you have a vehicle. So there's all sorts of instances where you can legally shoot a person because you believe that the force is justified. In such a case where there is a gunshot that was just fired, right? And the suspect has been repeatedly resisting arrest, obstructing the arrest of other people, and obstructing contact with other people. The officers reasonably would have assumed that the person is a threat to them because he's showing himself to be a threat. And then when they yell gun, and then when there's a gunshot that goes off, again, you have two options. Either the officers believe that the suspect has fired a weapon, or that something else is going on that they can't see, and that they know that the person who was there, who has been a consistent threat and resisting arrest, is likely going to be the likely cause of that threat and then exterminate that threat. Those are the only two options that you have. Okay, his version of events would require that what you have is you have the officer saying, "Hey, we know this guy is 100% not a threat. He's subdued. He's laid down. None of the stuff that's on video, and he admitted that man is actively resisting, and then that there's a gunshot that went off." But that the officers knew full and well, and they decided they wanted to kill a man. If they wanted to kill a man, they had ample opportunity to do so prior to. Makes no sense logically why they would wait until that point to shoot the man. If they just came on a kill mission, they could have killed him 11 days prior, or the numerous other people that they contacted. Yet, what we have in all these instances is that there's a scuffle and that there's an actual escalation of force that ends up at deadly force. That doesn't start with deadly force, and that right there is a problem for his position.
Understood. And my second question, and you can go ahead, Ruben. I know you want to, Ruben. Hold on, let me finish this question right quick.
Go ahead.
Okay. So with that being said, in the true life scenario that happened, is it justified for a cop to fire their weapon at a suspect when a cop is the one responsible for the suspect's weapon being fired?
Yeah. So all things being equal, it would be no, all things considered, it definitely could be. So, for example, there are, even for civilians, there's a such thing as perfect and imperfect self-defense laws, right? And so you're never required to have full knowledge of the particular circumstances, but that in a situation that the circumstances, and this is what are called justification defenses, okay? You either have a justification or you have an excuse. A justification says that your actions are justified under the circumstances. This means that you have to be particular about the circumstances and say, in that situation, would it be reasonable to assume that you're in danger? And even for a civilian like yourself and like myself, we will be justified under the same exact circumstances. If we're fighting a person who has a gun, you hear a gunshot go off and you shoot. If it's later found, and the Supreme Court has already ruled on this repeatedly, that even if it's, so when you talk about the collective knowledge doctrine, right? Even if the person is later found to not have a gun, let's say they pointed a flashlight or a cell phone at someone, just because you had a mistake of fact in that particular case, and it wasn't in fact a weapon, if you believed it was a weapon under the circumstances, right, you are justified in your shooting. If you believe that the person has a weapon or that they fired a shot, you're justified in taking that person's life. That's a justification defense, which is different than an excuse. An excuse is where you excuse the person. A justification is where you excuse under the circumstances. So legally speaking, in such a case, we need to examine the totality of the circumstances. And that's why I said it's relevant whether or not, hey, was it the case that they were fighting with a person who was repeatedly obstructing justice? Absolutely. Was he repeatedly resisting arrest? Absolutely. Was he obstructing the arrest of other people? Absolutely. Was he illegally standing there when he was told to disperse on numerous occasions? Absolutely. Okay. When they went to go subdue the person, did he fight back against it? Absolutely. Did someone yell gun? Absolutely. Did that contribute to the collective knowledge of the officers at the scene saying, yes, this person is armed? Absolutely. Was a gunshot then fired afterward? Absolutely. Can we say with 95% certainty or more that the officers knew that not only that he did not have a gun, that his first gun was taken from him, that the two officers fired, that they knew with 95% or greater certainty that he was not armed with the gun that he had, but also that he was not armed with any other firearm, and two, that he did not present a threat, and four, that the other officers, based on collective knowledge, didn't perceive him as a threat, and therefore that they needed to exterminate. He has to.
But he had a gun on him the whole time, though. And
I
at
know.
no
Listen,
point in time did he attempt to brandish it or move toward it.
right. But
So
none of that is relevant for the analysis.
Right, facts.
The analysis only has to do.
Hey, he need that not to be relevant. He need that not to be relevant.
No, the law says it's not.
Because that proves that there was no threat.
No,
the fact that he never reached for his firearm, never brandished his firearm.
No,
it was no threat.
The legal standard is going to be largely based on the split-second decision, not what it happens in hindsight. You read this yourself. The controlling law says
if I pick up my gun right now and squeeze off a shot by mistake, then I'm negligent and not the person who unfortunately get hit by the bullet that went off.
Yeah, except for the fact that that's also not the legal
standard. If I pick up my gun and fire off a shot by mistake, I'm negligent. And if the YNs open fire and kill somebody because of it, the person who got killed ain't the negligent one. It's me.
That's not the legal standard for negligence. One. And to Swatt's question, that's not the legal standard.
I'm the one who didn't have proper gun etiquette when I squeezed off a shot from a gun that I just snatched up.
At the time, in a split-second decision,
why is your finger going on the trigger, trained officer? Why is your finger on the trigger? Why is your finger on the trigger going away from the suspect, trained officer?
Okay, so anyway, that's also not the legal standard. The legal standard is whether, under the circumstance, the officers who fired the weapon would have had a 95% or greater
under law enforcement protocol.
If it's under law
enforcement protocol, when under the cover of the trigger.
What?
Under what circumstances are they to cover the trigger?
Well, so in all situations where you can control it, but if you're in the middle of a scuffle, you can't be expected to do so. And that's what I'm saying. You keep making these standards.
Are you in the middle of a scuffle? Are you in the middle of a scuffle, or are you fleeing the scene after you disown the suspect that's in the
law?
You're not in the scuffle. You're leaving the scuffle. You're running from the scuffle with the gun that you just took off the suspect. You're not a part of a scuffle.
Okay, so anyhow, as I stated, the controlling case law is what's at issue here to establish whether a crime was committed. If he doesn't have a 95% or greater certainty that the officers knew full well that he presented zero threat and then shot him and were acting outside of their federally appointed duties, then that means there's no crime committed. That burden was not met. That's the question. It's not whether that he had perfect knowledge of the situation at the time. It's not whether he later was found to not have had his firearm. It's in a split-second decision. And with the situation that led up prior to, could the officer have reasonably believed that he was in danger? You had two officers who fired a shot. That means that these people are not acting in concert. That you have two people who reasonably believe that they're in danger.
His death was ruled a homicide. His death was ruled a homicide.
That only means that a human killed
is homicide a crime?
No, homicide is not a crime. Homicide is not a crime. Homicide is not a crime. You can Google it. I'm going to say this again. Homicide is not a crime. Murder is a crime. Homicide simply means that one person killed another person. This is stupid. This is what I said earlier. You don't know what you're talking about. Homicide legally only means that one person killed another person. Okay? So that's all homicide means. Murder is a crime. In California's Penal Code 187, it's the intentional killing of a person with malice of forethought. Okay? So that is murder. Okay, homicide means that one person killed another person. Anytime an officer shoots another person, that's a homicide. If you shoot an intruder legally, that's going to be ruled a homicide. All the medical examiner is doing in that case is saying how the person died. The medical examiner is not making a legal adjudication. The medical examiner has no right to make a legal adjudication. This is stupid and elementary. Homicide Hama means that is a human, and inside means killing. It's like patricide means killing a father, infanticide means killing a mother. Matricide means killing a mother. A patricide is killing a father.
Under what circumstances is homicide not a crime, Leondre?
Listen, it generally speaking, homicide is in and of itself. Homicide is an umbrella term that covers the killing of one. Listen, I'm asking you.
Is homicide not a crime?
Listen to what I'm telling you. Homicide is an umbrella term that covers the killing of one human by another human. This is elementary. Prior to doing a first year introduction in law for any undergraduate student in the state of California, they all know this stuff. Okay, you can go to community college right now to tell you a homicide simply means one human kills another. Anybody can Google it right now. This is ridiculous. That is not the same as a murder. All murders are homicides, but not all homicides are murder. And this is why you said homicide.
Homicide, Leondre. Homicide is the killing of one human being by another, but it is not always a crime. While criminal homicides include murder and manslaughter, non-criminal or justifiable, excusable homicides occur in cases of self-defense or accidents without recklessness.
Right.
This
so
was
that means
neither.
Homicide is not a crime.
This was not a case of self-defense, nor was it an accident without recklessness.
Yeah,
so
it was justifiable.
So
it was justifiable.
That has yet to be determined.
It's justified. No,
has it been the court? Has it been determined by the courts that it's been justified, honey Clark?
It doesn't have to be determined by the court.
Has it been?
They have to first take him. If they don't find that he can even be accused of the crime, how the fuck would it go to the court?
Exactly.
Now,
this
justice
is what I'm saying.
don't
this
determine,
is goofy.
Ain't determined by the court.
This is goofy.
It's crazy.
So here's what I'm gonna do.
Goofy.
He has to go to court first. Like, you're talking about somebody who's never been even. They haven't said that he committed a crime, and then you're saying, "But did the court say it?" Well, first,
how are you saying it was justified without a finished investigation?
It's a justifiable homicide. They told you that.
How are you saying it's a crime without an investigation? How are you saying it's a crime without a full investigation?
Is this case being investigated? Is this case being investigated?
But remember, that sword cuts two ways.
Okay.
You said out of your own mouth that is unjustified. How are you going to make that statement without it being litigated? That's stupid.
So if it's being investigated, how are you saying it's justified?
Listen,
without
a complete
investigation, without a complete investigation, how are you saying it's justified?
The same way you're saying it's unjustified without a complete investigation. You need more than just
the burden of proof.
You need more than just investigation.
You're the affirmative. You were the affirmative, Leondre. You were the affirmative, not me.
Yes.
You were the affirmative.
Except for the fact that this is not a policy debate.
So you was your affirmative. Was your affirmative?
I'm sorry, you don't know debate theory. I'm sorry.
Was your affirmative argument not that it was justified?
I'm sorry that you don't know debate theory, but you likewise have the burden of saying
your affirmative argument, brother, was that it was justified.
Are you listening to me?
And you are not at liberty to say that it was justified without a complete.
I'm sorry that you don't know debate theory. I'm sorry that you don't know debate theory.
But neither would you be. You wouldn't be justified in saying it's not.
That's what I'm saying. Listen, you don't know debate theory because you never did a debate. When you're making this statement,
now you can say what you want.
Listen,
you can say what you want. All I have to do is present reasonable doubt.
No.
It's not. This is not court.
He's saying it's justified. He's saying it's justified, but you can't say it was justified without a complete investigation.
And you can't say it's not justified without one either, right?
Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Because we as American citizens, listen, are we not? Isn't guilt something that still has to be proven in America?
Oh my God.
Are we not innocent until proved? Are we not innocent until proven guilty? If he was guilty, then it was justified. If he was guilty of the crimes you're saying he committed, only then is it justified.
He muted out.
Can I talk now?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So this is what I'm saying. This is ridiculous. The thing that justifies the shooting is not it does not hinge on whether or not he actually committed a crime. It's whether a reasonable officer under the circumstances would have thought that they or someone else was in danger. That is the freaking criteria. This man does not know the controlling law, controlling case law. That is the question. This is the same for even civilians. Civilians don't need to prove that the other person committed a crime. You had a case, and I forget, it was a couple of years back. We had a case where a son was sneaking into his own house and was shot and killed by his father. The father was not charged with the crime. Guess why? Because he had a reasonable reason to believe that his son was an intruder breaking in the middle of the night, and he shot and killed his son. He was never charged with a crime. That right there is utterly ridiculous, to say that the son needed to be charged and convicted of a crime. That's also stupid, because if the person is dead, they're not going to be on trial. There's another ridiculous thing he said on numerous occasions, that he wasn't brought up on charges afterward. Nobody.
That's a false equivalency.
I'm in the middle, bro. You got yours off. Let me finish. So the problem here is that he believes that in order to justify the shooting, you need to prove that Alex Petty was guilty of a crime. No, you don't. One, you can prove that by just looking at the video, looking at the statutes. It's elemental. Does it meet the particular elements? You can show that just by looking at the video. Two, here's the issue. The issue is that the officers heard handgun, collective knowledge. There was an actual handgun, and there was a shot that was fired. The officers shot what they perceived to be a threat under the circumstances. You do not have to have an adjudication to say so. And then he says that do you not have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that there's a crime committed? Yes. This is why you can't argue that there was an unjustified shoot. And in debate theory, this is not as having a policy debate where if I'm arguing against the status quo, the person arguing against the status quo actually here is you, because there's been no arrest, there's been no charges filed, there's been none of that. So in this sort of setting, where the proposition is itself a question, we both have a burden. I'm arguing the affirmative from my position. You're arguing the negative. In order to achieve your burden, you need 95% or greater certainty. I already covered this in my framework. In order for you to say this was a crime, you need 95% or greater certainty. I don't need so. Whether or not Alex Petty actually committed a crime is irrelevant to the question of the shoot. It may explain the contact, which it does explain the contact prior to, but that's not necessary to show that there was no crime committed. Just like I covered in the example with the son being shot by his father when coming into the home. The son does not have to have actually committed a crime, and he committed no crime coming into his own home. The father does not have to show that the son committed a crime, only that he needed to believe that there was a crime being committed and that him and his family was in danger, and that he acted in defense of his dwelling or of his person or other persons. That is the actual law. I know Ruben doesn't know this, but that's the law, and that's why he lost. He does not know the law or the analysis.
Well, why the reason you lost, because you did not show objective reasonableness, which is needed. Objective reasonableness, that's what the law states. You know what I'm saying? And it is objectively unreasonable to shoot someone you have disarmed. That, I don't know what part of that you keep missing. That is an unreasonable act for 6 officers. You know what I'm saying? Now, however many of them it was restrained, them cool. You know what I'm saying? But after you disarmed him, then it is an unreasonable action to then shoot him. I don't care if the officer let off a shot. That's him being negligent. You're not trained to know where gunfire come, what direction gunfire come from. What kind of agents we got out here on the street? When I'm getting popped at, I know where the bullet's coming from. So you telling me federal agents running around our streets oblivious to the angles and the sound to trace where a gunshot come from? You can see it didn't come from where you were standing at. You know it came from behind you. We're not gonna sit there and play like we don't know that you can't tell where gunfire coming from, Leondre. You're supporting the unreasonable action of public execution by the state, and if that is justified, I represent the goddamn resistance, Leondre.
Okay, just a few more questions, and then we'll be up out of here.
Well, congrats on that, but unfortunately for you, the issue is that we're gonna have judges, and we'll see what they say. But a homicide is itself not a crime in and of
Absolutely.
itself.
Good debate again. Mm-hmm. It's in the judge's hands right now, so that's all that matters.
Okay. Questions. We'll start with you, King Naga. What did you learn about your opponent's understanding of the topic?
Really nothing. I knew he was gonna come, be philosophical and give the philosophy of law and was going to be able to cite all of these laws to support his argument. But I knew what he wasn't going to be able to do was show anything he's claiming in the video. If he would have, then he would have showed y'all the video and not me.
Same question for you, Leondre. What did you learn about your opponent's understanding of the topic?
Yeah, so I learned that he didn't take it serious enough to get into any law books, and so that's what I learned. I learned that he's a very, very bold man, and you can certainly learn something of his confidence because he got up here and made legal arguments with no backing whatsoever. So yeah, that's what I learned. But again, shout out to him for showing up, taking his whooping man like a man. I appreciate him.
Okay. And you've been in some wars. Where does this one rank for you?
Most of them rank near the bottom. Some of my best ones were in college against some of my professor stuff, but no, this is near the bottom.
Same question for you, King Naga. You've been in some wars. Where does this one rank for you?
It's about middle of the road, you know what I'm saying? He get extra points for having 2 master's degrees, but them gonna be trophies on the wall or neither.
Okay. And any final words for your opponent before the night ends? We'll start with you.
Yeah, I mean, final words, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Titans Debate League, you know what I'm saying? I respect what y'all doing. You're showing love, playing the songs I've been shooting, you know what I'm saying? All that. Each one teach one, you know what I'm saying? Every man pull the next man up. Shout out to Leondre for stepping out there in the ring, you know what I'm saying? It was a good show, good debate. I enjoyed myself, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully we could do this again, you know what I'm saying? And don't let this be the last time you step in the ring, Leondre, you know what I'm saying? On the real, because I ain't gonna lie, when I get this dub over you, you going on the wall or not. Believe it.
Shout out to King Naga. I appreciate the time, man, and putting into this. One of the easiest brothers to schedule some with. I know, and shout out to Titans Debate League, Coliseum of Arguments. I know that had some issues elsewhere trying to schedule debates. Some of the people were acting like divas. And some issues with the host with regards to schedule, timing, all that kind of stuff. These are 2 of the easiest brothers to work with. So if you want to debate, I definitely recommend this platform right here. Very, very easy. Ruben was a very, very easy brother to talk to negotiate with, to discuss, to set up times, all that kind of stuff with. So I had a lot of fun in prepping for this debate and putting this whooping on, bro. So, hey, listen, man, this California, we catch fades out here professionally, and we usually don't take no L's, man. So shout out to y'all.
That's because most of y'all migrated from the Indo.
Y'all silly, man. Y'all silly. And just like that, the dust begins to settle. Leondre, King Naga, 2 warriors walked in, 2 perspectives collided, and in the war room, nothing was left untouched. No safe corners, no protected talking points. Tonight, we didn't just debate, we dissected. We didn't just argue, we analyzed. And whether you're rocking with Leondre or standing 10 toes with King Naga, one thing is clear, the conversation just leveled up. But now it's on you. Who controlled the narrative? Who answered the pressure? Who shifted the room? Drop your verdict in the comments if you're watching this and let us know. We are going to have judges though, but we do want your input. I think I'm going to put a poll up here shortly. And yeah, this is the arena where ideas fight. This is where positions get tested under fire. And this is where the strong survive the smoke. You've been in the war room, and trust me, the next battle is already loading. Until next time, keep your sword sharp. And remember my motto, treat your smile like your money. Never let them steal it. We're going to end this one with the song by Connie's Son. I usually listen to him on Spotify, but you can check him out on all platforms. Head over to his Facebook and tell him A1 sent you. And that's it. Anything you guys want to close out with other than what you just did?
No, sir. I'm good.
Man, thank the people for coming out and watching, you know what I'm saying? Supporting the platform, you dig? See y'all next time.
See y'all next time. Peace.
Yeah. Actually, one more thing. Listen, vote for me if you're on the side of right. Vote for Ruben if you support white supremacy.
Hold on, we
Vote for
can't
Ruben.
end the show.
Hey,
We just had a
we can't end
special
the show
guest.
like that. Vote for Ruben if you with the resistance. You know what I'm saying? We don't care if you white, black, purple, or green Martian. You know what I'm saying? We for the people.
Hold up, we got Pam Mulatto just hit the panel right as I'm about to hit the song.
Peace,
Pam
peace,
Mulatto,
family.
shout out to you, brother.
Thanks for
You
having me up.
did you have any
I'll be
questions or comments about anything that was talked about today?
yes, sir. No, thanks for having me up. I'll be honest, and when I say this, it's not is I don't mean this as an attack. I'm genuinely asking, King, how do you pronounce your name? Inga
Naga.
Ngawu Naga. All right, King Naga. Do you realize that, in my estimation, you're advocating for white privilege? Because you know for a fact, if you, as a black man, had a firearm, even if it was legally registered, and you were in front of the police, you were being rambunctious, they had to wrestle you to the ground, and they pulled the firearm off you, but they don't know if you got any more firearms, and you still fighting back, you're moving around, you're not complying. You know that they would kill you. You know that they would shoot you. So, with all due respect, why should there be a different standard for this white man?
It's an injustice when it happened to us, and it's an injustice when it happened to them. You know what I'm saying? I gotta be consistent. If I'm a sit out here and say, "Oh, it's unjust when they do it to us," then I can't then say, "Oh, it's justified when it happened to them." That would be a
Now, hear me out.
that would
Now,
be
King Naga, you know me
hypocritical.
and you,
That would be hypocritical of me, and I'm not a hypocrite.
and King Naga, you know me and you had this same exact dialogue multiple times before you even had this particular debate. Now, we're not talking about hypothetically, we're talking about reality. In reality, there are black men with no firearms that get shot by the police. True or false?
Yeah, that's true, and it's an injustice when it happened to them, and it's justice when it happened to us too. I'm not
Yeah, but let's
advocating
talk about
for
reality though. So let's
justification
talk
of
about
any unjust murder, regardless
and
of
let's
who it
not
happened.
talk over let's not talk over each other. I'm just talking about reality. So the
No, we
question
good.
is,
I'm just
since
responding.
since law enforcement is weaponized against black Americans, in reality, the question is, now that law enforcement agencies are being weaponized against the whites, why do you feel the need to advocate for the whites? Don't you realize that you're
I,
advocating for
I,
white
I'm I'm
privilege?
I'm not advocating for whites. I'm advocating for Americans. You know what I'm saying? What regardless of race, nationality, or creed. That's what I'm advocating for.
And you already acknowledge
Advocating.
that the black
I'm
Americans,
advocating. I'm
uh-huh.
advocating for the right to live. And everything you said about the police being you know, ramped up and militarized against black people. All of those things are true. And the reason why I'm also speaking out about them militarizing the white people against white folks is because if they eliminate the white folks and then eliminate the Asians and the Latinos and all of that, then who gonna help us?
When have they ever helped us collectively?
Uh, John Brown helped us. I mean,
I
for you
said
to say
collectively.
collectively, I mean
Yes.
that's a asinine question for one. You know what I'm saying? Because we know there is elements of white people who are white supremacists. We know there are white people
Exactly.
who can't
So
stand niggas.
well,
So
but
so
don't but
then
don't
why
speed
so
past
why so why
don't speed
why
past
would
your
we
question.
why would you then that being said, brother, why would you then ask about the collective of white people when it's
Yeah, so
understood that
exactly.
they are
Don't
divided?
speed past your
I
question.
can't even speak on the collective of black people, brother.
Exactly. So don't speed past your question. You said once they
I
eliminate the
answered the
whites and
question.
brother, I'm talking about the question you asked me. Don't speed past it. You
Yeah,
said
yeah,
once
yeah,
they
yeah,
brother, allow
yeah.
me
What?
to
Right,
land the plane,
right.
brother. You said
You
once
gonna
they
answer the
eliminate
question?
the whites and the Asians, who gonna help us? My response
And the
is
And the
collect
Latinos
brother, hold on,
and the
brother.
Latinos.
Have some decor exactly. Once they eliminate the whites and the Asians and the Latinos, your question was who gonna help us? Did you hear my response? My response is collectively they are already not helping us. Do
I
you
mean,
understand that?
uh, that That's asinine again.
No, I'm asking, do you
Collectively,
understand that?
we're
If
talking about
anything,
white people. Listen,
exactly,
we're talking
brother.
about.
Hold on, one
Can
step at a
I
time,
respond
brother.
to you? Can I?
But
All
respond
right.
to what I actually said, brother.
I'm trying to respond to what you actually said, and
Exactly.
what
Go
you
ahead.
said, and what you said is logically fallacious on numerous accounts because we are witnessing white on white violence. We're witnessing whites
Exactly.
killing
That's why you
whites.
should be neutral.
No, listen. I let you go.
Let
You
We're
him
did
finish.
not.
witnessing
You
Let him
cut
whites.
me off.
finish,
You
man.
cut me off multiple
We're
times.
witnessing.
Let's let him finish, man.
Whites killing whites. We're witnessing whites at odds, and you turn around and ask about the collective of whites. That's asinine. That's understood that we cannot speak for the collective of whites because it is whites against whites. That's opposition. They are in opposition to each other. So why would you ask me about the collective?
Brother, you might have forgot the question that you asked me. You said once they, as in the whites, eliminate other whites, once they eliminate the Asians and the Latinos, you said, who's going to help us? My response was, they are already not helping us. Actually, in reality, these same whites, these same Asians, these same Latinos are joining law enforcement agencies and they are mass incarcerating Black American children. Do you understand that, brother?
Do you understand that whites have helped us as abolitionists? Whites have
Brother, did you
helped
hit the
us to.
question? Did
Do
you
you
hit the question,
understand?
brother?
Oh no, because you made a lot of claims that is historically
Yeah, but brother, did
inaccurate.
you hit the question?
Do you not understand that it was white abolitionists? Do you not understand that it was white civil rights leaders?
I'm gonna
White
answer
people
your
marching
question
with
if you
Dr.
answer
King.
mine. Can we make that deal?
Do you not
Last
understand
question,
that it's
gentlemen.
white
Then
people
we
at
gotta
every
close off.
protest? It was white people protesting for Trayvon Martin, Mike Brown, Alex Sterling here in
Oh,
Baton
I
Rouge.
get it.
You
You're
know what I'm
waiting
saying?
for a white
So
savior.
are you?
Hold
There's no
on,
white man that will come save
hold
you.
on,
It's not about a
don't cut
white
him off.
savior. It's not about a white savior. It's about making a sound logical argument, which you are not, brother.
And watch how brief my response is. And with all due respect, A1, you about to close out?
Yeah, I got another show coming up at 8 o'clock. One more question though. You can go ahead and ask me.
Yes, sir. Really, I don't have any more questions. These are my closing remarks. With all due respect, King Naga, when you said when they eliminate the whites, Asians, and Latinos, who gonna help us? That is an indication that you are looking for a white savior. You are looking for an Asian savior. You are looking for a Latino savior. My point is, they will never come save you. You have to save yourself. Thanks for having me up, and peace be upon you all. Much love.
And in response to that, I'm aware of history, brother. I'm aware of how the Nazis took over Germany. They separated the different groups in Germany and eliminated groups one by one until it was down to the Jews, and the Jews end up in the internment camps. If anybody going to end up in internment camps in America, we the ones that's in the goddamn bullseye. So if we sit around and let them take out all the other groups like happened in Nazi Germany, it's our fault. Goddamn internment camps. And you talk about I'm advocating for the white man? No, I'm advocating for the self-preservation of niggas. God damn it.
Well, that escalated fast. I don't know what just happened. I was here for it, but what did I miss? I was listening to everything. I don't.
You know what happened.
Okay, well, drop a bomb, ladies and gentlemen. That was a fiery exchange. Maybe we can go ahead and get Pam Mulatto and King Naga in the ring to talk about some of this. Pan, if you still watching, hit me up. Let's make that happen, man. Another amazing show again, and we're going to end out with the song by Connie's son called "Family All Around Me." You can check him out on Spotify. I'll check him out on Spotify, but he's on all platforms. Head over to his Facebook and tell him A1 sent you. And y'all have a good night. Remember my motto: treat your smile like your money, and never let them steal it. Peace.
Family all around me. Family Family all around me. He my family, she my family. He my family, she my family. He my family, she my family. We are family. We might have the same last name, but that don't make you my family. I got some people with the same blood, and I know that they can't stand me. I got some people I call that ain't kin that's gonna pull up and handle it. They take care of that business like family. We come from them trenches like family. They talking, you listen, that's family. They don't tell your business, that's family. They calling your phone, coming looking for you. They say that you missing, that's family. They don't need permission, that's family. When you hurt, they can feel it, that's family. Let them come while you're cheering, that's family. Let them come when you living, that's family. Family all around me. Family all around me. He my family, she my family. He my family, she my family. He my family, she my family. We are family all around me. Family all around me. He my family, she my family. He my family, she my family. He my family, she my family. We are family. Hey, ain't nobody fighting around here. Ain't nobody shooting around here. Everybody that's around here, family. All love, no hate, be clear. No shade, all love, be real. You love them, you should know how it feel. Tired of all these badass kids. Tired of paying all these bills. Family going through the same thing, so they know exactly how you feel. They supply a shoulder I can cry. I provide a place where they can heal. Leave my money out, they don't steal. Let them have it if it's for a bill. Soldier for me when they in the field. Only way I live. Family all around me. Family all around me. He my family, she my family. He my family, she my family. He my family, she my family. We are family all around me. Family all around me. He my family, she my family. He my family, she my family. He my family, she my family. We are family. We might have the same last name, but that don't make you my family. I got some people with the same blood, and I know that they can't stand me. I got some people I call that ain't kin that's gonna pull up and handle it. They take care of that business like family. We come from them trenches like family. Family all around me.